Written by Kira Napier. Elizabeth War. Elizabeth Tudor was one of the greatest English monarchs of all time. In order to understand her, we need to know about her family. Elizabeth's father, Henry VIII, was the King of England. Before Elizabeth was born, he married Catherine of Aragon and had a daughter, Mary, but Henry wanted a son, and while still married to Catherine, he fell in love with Anne Boleyn and wanted to marry her. Henry asked the Pope, the leaders of the Catholic Church, to annul his marriage to Catherine. The Pope refused to grant Henry's wishes. Henry formed a separate church and established himself as the supreme ruler on earth. Now he called the new church on the earth Church of England. Then he declared his first marriage invalid. Free from Pope's rule, Henry secretly married Anne, who became the Queen of England. Young Elizabeth Tudor was born on September 7, 1533, in Greenwich, England. Henry had an affection for Elizabeth and favored her over Mary, but especially wanted a son to inherit this throne. Henry began to lose interest in Anne Boleyn when it seemed that she too would not be able to give him a son. Henry eventually accused Anne of treason and had her executed. He declared that their marriage was invalid and their daughter Elizabeth was illegitimate for a child born to unwed parents. It meant Elizabeth could not be heir to his throne. Henry eventually accused Anne. In 1537, Jane Seymour, Henry's third wife, gave birth to a son Henry desired. He was named Prince Edward. Jack, already weak and exhausted, contracted a high fever and died shortly after giving birth. In the meantime, Elizabeth had begun her education in earnest. Private tutors educated her math, history, geography, architecture, and needlework. She also learned to speak and influent French, Italian, Greek, and Latin. An excellent student, Elizabeth Tudor regarded her highly. Elizabeth was an intelligent girl who released her religious schoolwork. She had a witty and captivating personality, and she charmed everyone who met her. In her free time, Elizabeth enjoyed riding horses, dancing, and playing the lute. Although she rarely saw her father, she was often in the company of her older sister and younger brother. Henry married 3 more times, but none of this marriage produced her another child. Henry's sixth and final marriage in 1543 was to Catherine Parr. She strongly encouraged Henry to establish a line of succession. Mary and Elizabeth. The Catholics urging Henry reinstated Mary and Elizabeth as heirs to his throne. Her brother Edward, however, was first in line. Henry VIII died in 1547, and Prince Edward became king at 9 years of age. Under his rule, the Church of England leaned more toward a new kind of Christianity called Protestantism. However, his reign was short. In 1553, Edward died and married Elizabeth's older half-sister became queen. Mary, the daughter of Henry I's wife, Catherine, and was the Catholic believed strongly in the faith. A growing number of people were turning to Protestantism. Mary called monarchs to end Protestant practices. Mary's goal was the monarch to end the Protestant practice. Mary thought that people who did not follow the Catholic teachings were heretics. During her reign, she ordered executions of about 300 people convicted of being against the Catholic Church. This earned her the nickname Bloody Mary. Elizabeth has been raised a Protestant and strongly valued her faith. However, she did not trust Mary and thought that she needed to appear to be Catholic in order to save her life. She attended Mass openly and studied the Catholic religion. Despite Elizabeth's action, many believe that Elizabeth was practicing the Protestant faith in secret. When people attempted to overthrow Mary, she thought that Elizabeth was behind it. She had arrested and sent to the Tower of London. Although Elizabeth professed her announced, she was kept there for 2 months until she was released and placed under house arrest for a year. Mary married Prince Philip of Spain and kept high hope to produce a heir. She wanted to keep England Catholic and prevent her sister Elizabeth from succeeding to the throne. Mary had no children. She had to accept that Elizabeth in the next line for the throne that would be her lawful successor. Mary died from an illness in 1558, and Elizabeth was crowned queen on January 15, 1559. Early changes. Elizabeth was 25 years old, although she quickly established herself as a Protestant monarch. She was tolerant of Catholics. From the beginning of Elizabeth's reign, some of the advisors tried to find a successful husband of marriage for Elizabeth. England was also creating new alliances with other countries also. If Elizabeth has a child, England would be assured to an heir to the throne. However, Elizabeth knew that if she married a foreign king, England might fall another country's rules. If she's married to a fellow Englishman, she would be marrying beneath her royal status. She also might lose power as queen. She received many proposals and rejected all of them. Elizabeth had urgent more concern. In Elizabeth's reign, Europe was split by Catholic and Protestant religion. Elizabeth was focused on stopping the Catholic nations of Spain and France from invading England to defeat Protestantism or becoming an ally of her enemy and neighbor of the North, Scotland. Married Queen of Scots, Elizabeth Cotton was the Catholic Queen of Scotland. Mary posed a great threat to Elizabeth. Many Catholics in England tried to depose Elizabeth to allow Mary to ascend the English throne and restored when Mary came to England. Elizabeth had her imprisoned for 19 years. In 1586, Elizabeth's pension was an end when she learned Mary was involved to yet another plot to ancestor. She had tried Mary for treason. The court found Mary guilty of plotting against Elizabeth. She was executed on February 8, 1587. A Spanish threat. King Philip II of Spain, a Catholic, had been planning to invade England before Elizabeth had Mary, Queen of Scots, executed. Mary's death convinced him that Elizabeth should be overthrown. He wanted the Catholic faith to be brought up back to England. Up to this point, explorer Sir Francis Drake, with the support of Elizabeth, had been anchoring Philip with floundering of Spanish ships as they returned from newly discovered territory in the Americas. Drake would order his seamen to raid a Spanish ship and would take large amounts of gold and silver they were carrying back to Spain. In 1587, Drake sailed into Cadiz harbor, Spain, and destroyed many of the Spanish ships at anchor. After this setback, Philip got ready to attack England and overthrow Elizabeth. In 1588, Philip ordered the Spanish armada he set sail with the intention of invading England. Philip also had to force about 70,000 rounded troops in Netherlands. These troops were under the Spanish rule and supported Philip's armada. However, they were not ready for the invasion. The English were superior seamen and had ships that were more maneuverable. They were able to scatter the Spanish ships and force them into the North Sea. In addition, the winds were not in the Spanish favor as they sailed north. The weather slowly defeated them. Elizabeth's troops had trapped, and she had survived another challenge to her crown. Elizabethan age. Elizabeth had developed a strong government and more powerful navy, wanting to bring expansion and wealth to her beloved country. She encouraged inspiration of new places and trade with foreign countries, such as gold, silk, and food, and spices generally helped England's economy. Elizabeth believed strongly in supporting arts. During her reign, she encouraged growth in the areas of music, art, and literature. Musicians, poets, writers, and other artists were always welcome in her court. By 1590, the arts in England were flourishing. William Shakespeare, arguably the greatest playwright of all time, became very popular during Elizabeth's reign and then brought his troupe actors to perform in her court. England was set to become a global empire, and the Elizabethan age became as the Golden Age in English history. As a result, England became one of the most important countries in the world. Elizabeth's last year. During her rule, Elizabeth's religious argument that had torn apart her country. Protestantism was quietly established as the official religions of England, where strides were made in education and the arts, which she firmly supported. Addition, more people than ever for learn to read and write. When Elizabeth died in 1603, she had reigned for 44 years. She named James VI, the son of Mary, Queen of Scots, as her successor, bringing together England and Scotland. Elizabeth was highly educated, a keen observer of human nature. During her reign, she proved to her allies and enemies like a woman could be as effective, successful monarch and ruler. As a result, English loved and respected her. They would remember their queen. They would forever remember their queen.
Perfect score.